Louie Pagano joins us now, the tag senior winner today. The final today was just a magnificent race to watch from the sidelines. There was at one point 9 karts in the train for that lead. Louie luckily got to be in front of that train, and I think about 4 laps to go, there was a little shuffle for second that gave you a little bit of a gap today that helped you win that final. Talk about that, kind of the whole race from start to finish. You had a hell of a start too at the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. The cards fell my way for once. The starts were good all weekend long, and when the restart happened, the top 5 went to the barriers, and I just cruised around on the outside, and finally, came out behind Sarah and just ran him down. I was going to think about pushing him for a bit, and I definitely had a little bit more better pace than him, so I just decided to get by him and hope to pull away. They ran me down, and then the battle began, and that was kind of just bit my tongue and held on for as long as I could, and the checker came out and I was on top.
Yeah, on Friday we had a video broadcast, and I mentioned you as my dark horse pick, and I just could tell your kart was handling well. Ryan Beechner at 2 Wild had that thing tuned in. I could tell coming around the corners it was getting lift when other people weren't. Talk about the effort Ryan put in back there at 2 Wild.
Ryan Beechner from 2 Wild, the whole 2 Wild crew, True Tech Engines, Blake Craig. Everyone had the whole kart, the whole thing on point. I mean, every session I was really, really confident. I knew that we had the car to beat all weekend. This morning, the whole field put on new tires. We stayed on used tires, and we were 9th quick, only a tenth off. I felt pretty confident going into the final. I just hoped that the little changes we made was going to pay off, and what do you know, it did.
Did you have the feeling in the heat races that you had the kart in the long runs to? I know you didn't win a heat race, but you were quick. Did you have the feeling that you could do this in the final today?
I honestly, I've been dreaming about this night for the last few nights. I've been just sitting there replaying this last lap every single night, and luckily I didn't have to do what I was planning on doing. There was not a little bit of a gap between Mark and Mastrozzi and me, so thankfully it played off, and we came home with the win.
Well, congratulations, Louie. I know this is probably your biggest win of your career, and you're going to live it up tonight in Vegas.
Yeah, that's the plan. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Louie.
We're here with Gary Carlton after an amazing victory in the KZ2 category. Yesterday, you've been fast all weekend. Yesterday you were involved in a pretty big incident. A lot of people thought maybe you had broken some bones. Not any broken bones, but a very sore wrist. Very hard for you to drive. Tell us about the race today, man.
Yeah, actually, when I went to the medic, they said, okay, that's what they probably think something's broken, and they said advised me to go to the hospital. And I told him, and my father was standing next to me. He said, okay, we'll take him to the hospital. And I said, no way, because even if it was broken, I knew I probably wouldn't be able to mentally go do it. So I said, no, I'm not going to go. And then throughout the night, I noticed it wasn't swelling that much, so I knew nothing was broken. It was just hurt. I had never been so much pain in my life. It seemed like I actually had broken bones, but for whatever reason, this hurt more. I don't know why. And just the rate. Honestly, I all weekend in the KZ, when I didn't make any mistakes really. Every pass that I made, I thought was right at the right time, and I've really honestly never driven a race as well as I did in KZ all through the heats. Even when we had the problem on the start with the carburation, I was able to come back, and I had a lot of luck. I think during the races, and then in the final, everything was perfect. The guys at Formula K and Miami did an excellent job. It's unbelievable. I'm so happy.
So you started in 7th position. At what point during the race did you realize, wow, you knew you had the pace, but wow, I actually have a shot to win this thing?
Honestly, I thought I had a shot at the start. And before even the race even started, it was funny. Peter Pacek, my new boss at IPK Formula K, he came up to me before the race, before the warm-up. He's like, please, you don't have to race. You have a job for next year. Don't worry, because the last couple of years it's always been race to race, and it's always been a huge burden on me every time I go to race to think maybe this is the last time, and hear him say those words is obviously a great relief off my shoulders, because I have many things I still want to do, and I enjoy racing. And I looked at him, and I honestly don't know why I said it. I said, no, don't worry, Peter, I'm going to win today. and I did, and it honestly couldn't be a more perfect day. think everyone saw when I literally passed the line. I stopped right away and I started screaming because.
Yeah, we could all hear you from the stand,
yeah.
even with the helmet on. And
Yeah,
the engine's still going.
I think it's all the years of trials and tribulations that I've had. It just all came out. It just all came screaming out.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, you've had numerous karting families with Fausto and Track Magic, with the Neal family, with Sergi, and like you said, you've gone through some tough years. I've spent a lot of time with you in Italy, and I know how hard it's been for you. You seem to have found a new family, and they have the belief in you, and you obviously, we can see by this weekend your belief in yourself. It must be pretty incredible going into next year, knowing that you have this kind of backing, you have momentum on your side, you know you're able to test now, you have the material behind you. It's got to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, when I not quit but took a break of karting and coming back, in the last few seasons and those seasons that I was off, I can honestly say it's been the toughest time and the toughest thing I've ever done in my life to try to relive or redeem. I don't even know how to say it, but
right.
To come back and try to get back to where I was before. It's been. Like I said, I mean, I'll even admit it. There was 2 months ago, I was literally sitting on a karting factory floor by myself, just crying because it seemed like everything I could do, tried to do, it just would get my legs cut underneath me. And I think, as a person, as myself, if I don't have the people that believe in me, it obviously affects me. And then to have someone like the IPK and Peter and all the boys from Miami and my mechanics and Race Lab and everyone just pushing for me. I knew they wanted me to do well, not only for them, but for myself. And I'm just so glad to give them this win. And I don't know. I think it's just incredible. I haven't even really thought about next year, honestly. I just want to live in this moment.
That's awesome. That's absolutely incredible. We look forward to following you next year. We'll be at a bunch of the European races cheering you on, and to give the U.S. audience and the international audience a taste of GFC.
Yeah, I hope to show everyone that Americans can go over to Europe and do well. I mean, I have to say huge congratulations publicly to Logan Sargent. What he did at La Conca. If you've never been to Europe and done the seasons and been living over in a different country, it's what he did was absolutely incredible. So, great job, Logan.
We'll end it with that. Two great champions, and Gary, best of luck next year.
Thank you for everyone at Kart360 for all the support over the years, and I can't wait to see what we can do